So, my dear Aquarius, this is your reading now for the month of Aries. Sun in Aries, and of course Sun highlighting the Moon in your sign. So here comes an extreme opposite, right? We can see how he's completely dressed and how he's like rigid, and you are free. You are completely naked and free, and it's really powerful to watch sometimes what sticks out when I look at these two cards. And only today we have Sun in Aries and Moon in Aquarius. I mean, it's 2 days or 2.5 days per year that this constellation exists. And so when I do the reading on the day the Moon is in your sign, I get the full right moment of what's going on here, what is happening. So Aries is ruled by Mars, the warrior, and that's why he's wearing what he's wearing. And you are ruled by Uranus. And the interesting thing is, those who create a revolution, they don't have to dress up like they're fighting, they just are the revolution. You are naked, and you don't have to put all these protections on. No guns and no nothing, right? And it's really interesting how this is playing here so strong right now, that you, who is the revolution in the way you are living life for those who have been here. And so Aries is gonna highlight that at the same time, even though he protects himself from people like you. First house of self and 11th house of friendship. I gave Aries the meditation because that's the body part, right, of Aries, and so the only way to access that is through meditation. And you, I gave you here the side plank with the leg up. It's kind of like a star because you're the calves. And so for me to stretch that part, right, is quite essential, but also the inner thighs. So you have one hand on water and one foot on earth, and the other hand and foot is up in the air because you're an air sign. So this is quite an interesting combination, and we're going to look at it, what's going to come to you through this reading. Your court card is the King of Swords. If your birthday is between January 9th and February 7th, this is your court card. Please look in the description below if it's not, because I have listed all of them. And of course all the cards that I'm using today. You get today a right spinning reading, which is the reading I do every day because the earth spins to the right every 24 hours. And on your full moon, which is opposite of your sign, which is in Leo, you get a soul reading. Left, the left spinning cycle the earth does, it's a big wobble, and that wobble lasts 25,800 years. And we divide that through the 12 zodiac signs and we get an age. And currently we're going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. So each time when I get a reading with you, I'm always curious what you're going to tell me about the new age. And I felt that the moment of your nakedness that is offending those people who are defending themselves, right? And just by the sheer fact that you're naked, you are creating a revolution. So this is your court card, right? The King of Swords. Now back to the last reading because it's a cycle. Pisces Sun highlighting Aquarius Moon, which is always very, very interesting because it's the age of Pisces that is leaving and literally giving you the information of how it is to be in the sun for 2,150 years when you're the moon. But the interesting thing is that the sun is a dwarf star, and you are a star. You're even bigger than the sun. And so I think the age of Aquarius is going to really bring incredible new ways of seeing things and thinking things and being things to us. Last time the message was you're finding the solution for an equal pay of all the female. Interesting enough, the word female holds male within it. Male doesn't. And so you are fighting for an equal pay. You are bringing equal pay now to the consciousness of people like Aries, people who are defending the old, the emperor that's defending his legacy. But what is really truly his legacy? Always a big question. All right, so let's begin the reading. On the position of the Fool, which is a state of consciousness that doesn't belong to the physical, it's a soul moment, that you are getting the Chariot, Cancer. And the Chariot is going to the right spinning path, which is that human path that we're taking. Left spinning, remember here you see the Fool is facing left, is the soul. And so you get that feeling, get out, get successful within these two horses, that you reign with your third eye from deep within. You know that the summer is coming and that you now want to go out in nature. And it's really interesting. Today is one of those days where it feels like it's getting a little warmer, and it's really like I'm, wearing a t-shirt and I don't need to wear a scarf. And that's the summer, right? So Cancer is opposite of Capricorn, and Cancer is the healer. Cancer is that beautiful spiritual movement, the family, the happiness. And so now you feel like going outside, you feel like enjoying yourself. On the position of the Magician comes the Curse, the number 14. Now the 1 connecting to the Magician, and the Magician is the state of consciousness of inspiration, and then the 4 connecting to Aries. So it's almost like Aries is or is creating a curse. And you see how the hand is covering her mouth, and when I calculate the 14 together, you get the number 5, the 5 senses. It's almost like I said, this old pattern of I need to protect myself, and then comes you. Oh, I'm naked, I'm totally there, and I'm pouring the water into the water, and I'm pouring water into the earth, and I don't need anything anymore because I'm a star. And usually a star has 5 rays. That's the first star in a way. There is a star, of course, of 4 rays, but it's always with the 5 where star really begins to look like a star. And so the curse is something that you are walking into from 7 to 5, and the 7 is already quite a test, and the 5s are tests. So let's continue. Let's see what else is there. And then on the position of the High Priestess comes your intuition and the Blasting Tower, the number 16. And this is Mars. The tower is Mars. So Aries is bringing something to you that is literally shaking your world, and it's good, because your intuition is telling you that this is not working for me anymore, and it's becoming a 7. And so this is a 7/7 portal framing the curse. you are able to heal that if you're focused and if you're truly letting go of things that don't work in your life anymore. You gotta be strong for that, because a curse is only something that someone put a spell on you, and a spell is spelling the word, and you can unspell the word. And so if something is breaking apart, and you can see how we have the tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life, in black and in white. We have the sun blasting here, Mars, the tower, and Aries is saying something. I'm going to help you to recognize, even if it's in opposition to what you are. And you have the 7 in your card because you card number 17. And so something is speaking directly to you. Also through the 1, because the 1 in your card, right, on the position of the Magician, speaks to you this curse. And yeah, you gotta look at that. And you know what it means, right? I can only read what these cards mean, but for you, something else is coming up for you. You will recognize, okay, I understand. Then, on the position of the Empress comes Capricorn, the devil. And this attachment of the card number 15 is then a 1 and a 5. So we have on the Magician the curse, a curse that attaches you to the social status. And the 5 in the curse, then with the 5 here, allowing you to maybe see why this is happening on the position of the Empress. Is it because last time you had a solution for an equal pay of all the female? Is now something opposing that? Is now something coming and saying, well, I guess you need to be very vigilant and very strong. And at the same time, this attachment can be liberated through the star. And look how many rays has the star, 5. So the curse can be undone in the 3rd eye, deep within you. And of course, we have Pluto that has moved from Capricorn into Aquarius in March, stays 3 months, goes back into Capricorn. So maybe that's why Capricorn is here. It's because things are shifting. The curse is lifting of the social status. We were maybe in a curse thinking that we need certain things, and now the social status is completely destroying itself because Aquarius is coming, and Aquarius is, do we really need all of that? Because I'm naked. I don't need no clothing that is covering me and costing fortune. And here you're going into a successful healing that your soul is bringing to you, and is saying, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up out of this curse, because this is the 5 which is in here. We don't need this social status anymore, and that's why the sun is coming, the blast is coming, and it's almost like Aries is defending it. Actually, at the same time, it's also destroying and making us realize how much we really want to be free. We want to not be attached to certain things anymore. And that's the 7 in your card, right? And so 2 times the 7 is then very clear. Be creative in the liberation of certain attachment and also certain weak points, because the 7 is not only the 7th chakra, the enlightenment. As soon as you have reached enlightenment, there's also then the work of working with that kind of enlightenment. Then comes, on the position of the Emperor, the 3 of Wands. And the Three of Wands always speaks about you finding your path, you connecting now to a part, you now allowing Aries to see what you need this iron case anymore. Become naked, because I mean she's also naked. Capricorn is pretty much free except the social status that she's attached to. Now we just have that red cloak that Aries is wearing, and so I think you are bringing quite a revolution to Aries by just being naked, by just being the way you are, by just using this being, your beingness is the revolution. Uranus, it's not that you gotta get up and march like soldiers. No, you bring that liberty to people, and now all of a sudden here we get Sun in Aries. So Sun in Aries is speaking to you, and it's shifting Aries profoundly. You are actually giving Aries the reflection back and saying, get naked. Get naked and stand up here and show yourself. You know, I mean, it's just really like, wow. So powerful, right? What's happening here? So you are actually reflecting back. What the Sun is giving to the Moon is you reflecting back, and you're like, okay, why don't you just get naked? Why don't you just get free? Why you just liberate yourself from all these attachments? And of course, the 4 is the responsibility that we take also over our heart. And now I think Aries is liberating itself and is standing here all naked and is looking down that river, or up that river, right? On the position then of the King of Swords comes the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles is Moon in Taurus. And Taurus is an earth sign like Capricorn. And Taurus, though, is the money, is the financial institutions. And it's about equality, it's about giving, it's about knowing when you have plenty that you give to those who don't have that much. And here are these two women talking to each other over a cup of tea. And the teapot is that I drink tea, I drink water, I have 2 cups, but I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops. And Cancer is that emotional healing that you got that initiate spark from. And then you have the 6 in here in the Tower, the 16. That the curse can be opened with the 5, because 5 is the Hierophant, are the tests. And the 6 as that Taurus moment, Moon in Taurus, is giving you an understanding that in society we're learning to understand each other. We're learning that this kind of freedom can affect even an emperor, can affect even him, and he's realizing, I don't want to sit on a square throne anymore, and I want to be more free. I want to be more open. And it's coming through a Taurus to you. Very strong, very clear, right, is that message. And then comes on the position of Aquarius, the 10 of Cups. And you had last time the 10 of Cups. It's very interesting. I really think that this equalness between male and female that you are working on is coming back now one more time. And you are learning to discern between the fact that when we come together, Mars in Pisces, right? So there is Mars in Pisces, the Tower. Things are breaking open for couples to really be free and liberated in the way they want to hold their families. And all of that can be done with a cup of tea. And so you have 2 cups and 10 cups. 10 cups with 2 is 12. So all 12 zodiac signs feel that. Feel slowly that the age of Aquarius is coming, and also that Pluto is in Aquarius right now for 3 months. Shifting back to Capricorn back, and in 2024 Pluto stays 20 years in your sign. And Mars in Pisces, right? Mars is, again, like I said, that Tower, and that's why something has got to go so that this new type of relationship can come in, and you stand for that. You are with that. That's why you give water to the water. That's why you give water to the earth, so that these kind of energies can be lived in the new age. And the 10 becomes a 1. And so, of course, you have a 1 in the curse, you have a 1 in the Tower, and you have a 1 in the Devil. Then comes on the position of the Moon, which is the longing to evolve, the Caterpillar, the number 4. And so you recognize that you have shifted Aries perspective, because Aries perspective is now to be a little bit more free and liberated. And you see how the Caterpillar, or the opportunity now for the couples to be whatever they want to be this strong evolution, because the Caterpillar is then that energy that becomes after the butterfly. And the Caterpillar is saying transformation, opportunity, independence from conditioned responses. And this is what's speaking here, right? The energy of Caterpillar appears, heralding a time of transformation and opportunity. Here you are being asked to revise your dreams. If it looks and smells familiar, step away from it for the time being. The new cannot emerge from the old, and the youthful and vital cannot emerge from the aged and sickly. Experiment and surprise yourself with what arises for you in this moment. And this is exactly what you're doing, right? In the last reading, you have this card. And you have the 4 of coins, right? And you had here the 4 as the West, that puzzle piece that was missing. And now you are recognizing that it's happening. I've been reading in the newspapers that more and more equal pay is asked in more and more countries. And so the transformation out of this caterpillar in this beautiful butterfly, it's almost like speaking to the Emperor, because it's the moon, and it's the moon on your position comes you, right? Aquarius. And also, of course, here this moment of being together and speaking about how we want to live. And it's happening always when we have tea. What else are we going to do when we have tea? We talk about our stories. And the transformation is actually not for you, it's for Aries. You are actually reflecting back, right, from the moon, which is in your sign, this back to the sun. And on the position of the sun comes now the brain. And the brain is Aries, is the meditation. And it's the discipline and the time, and it's the 41, and that will uplift the curse when we meditate and when we see that time and discipline has created a curse over us, a 5-5 portal. And this is the Hierophant talking to you already, the Taurus reading in the next month. 2 times 5, the creativity in overcoming difficulties, a curse, and the curse can be uplifted by looking deeper into your brain and recognize that we saw how the sun was moving, that we saw how the moon was shifting, and that created time. And so time is speaking to you through Aries. Aries has shifted. Aries is more free and liberated and is expecting now to build and create new things, because he's the number 3, and on the position of the Empress came Capricorn, and you liberate yourself through the third eye out of the attachment of the physical world that Aries is bringing to you. Aries sitting on the square, on the material world, and the liberation is then the spiritual world, the world where we go into our brain and we meditate and we recognize true liberation is coming out of the caterpillar and then become the butterfly. And then comes on the position of the world the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles then with 6 of Pentacles is creating a 14. And so 14 Pentacles builds then and coming together, talking about it, meditating, and then working and becoming a master is uplifting the curse, is uplifting everything that we think is holding us prisoner. We have 3 times the 5, become empowered through the obstacles that the 5th dimension is bringing you, the 5 elements and the 5 senses, and that you are opening up a door now into a liberation, and you want to continue to work on talking with people, and in that small grassroots, right, something like this is built, because by just living it, by just being it, and that's what's happening, by just being it, you are creating the revolution. And the revolution is not with guns. The revolution is by being yourself and by being successfully the healer that uses nature, that is connected with the cycles, that is connected with how above influences the below and the below influences the above. Everything is consciousness. And so you're learning to really arrive in the 8, because the 8 is then connected with your 8. 17 calculated together is the 8. And then you become this new star, the star that is learning and recognizing mastery. The guru cannot be ever controlled by no one, because they're free from deep within through the meditation, right? And it's beginning. You see, Aries is beginning to loosen up, and it's beginning by small steps, by being kind to the people around you, by living your life the way you want to live your life, by liberation, right? So here is the 4 alone, by liberation, by being the star in a whole new fashion. The 8-pointed star, the 8-pointed star above your head. And this is what you're bringing to the world. Wow, what a reading. I mean, you really are recognizing that you are bringing this mastery, and you're looking into the soul path, into the human path. You are living it. You are being it. You are healing it. And you're holding the world here again. You're holding the world again. And you're like, okay, I'm going to bring this mastery into the world. And guess what? The curse. Watch, I'm coming. Right? I'm really coming. I'm really shifting. So you have a 5 and the 5. And then, of course, this 5. You have a 5-5-5 portal, 3 times 5. Recognize that what you're speaking about now is the revolution itself, right? What you're sharing with others is the revolution. And so you are getting empowered, really truly empowered in your brain, because Aries is here, and Aries is feeling that as well, because it's reflecting back to Aries, right? Like I said, it's Aries like, okay, I'm gonna be half naked, I'm gonna keep my red cape. And so you are really bringing that revolution to the people, that deep, deep liberation to the 4, to the Aries, and you are reflecting it back, and you're like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just be free. Let's just let's see what happens. Not much can happen once people are really free. Why do you want to control them? What for, right? Wow, what a reading. So I gotta stop now. I hope I see you in the next one, because then, of course, we have Moon in Taurus, but it's gonna be Sun in Taurus. It's gonna give the light to your Moon. And we're gonna see that you have 3 times the 5, right? The curse is gonna be lifted. And, of course, the 14 coins, that makes a 5. And then, of course, here the brain. So Taurus is already speaking to you. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.